Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Raymond Skinner and I'm the chairman of the DCHA Board of Commissioners, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is our regular monthly meeting of the DC Housing Authority being held today, November 12th, 2025. This meeting is being held via Zoom video conferencing, and some of the board members are here in person, others will be virtual. And the time is now 1:04 p.m. At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to allow for some personal reflection. Thank you. So today we've invited members of the public to sign up to speak via our website, or those who would just like to view the meeting can do so live via the DCHA website linked to Facebook Live. The Board of Commissioners welcomes input on matters of public concern and offers the public today an opportunity to express views during the public testimony portion of this meeting. However, we require that members of the public who attend our meetings abide by certain rules of decorum to allow the board to complete its business. For this virtual meeting, DCHA asks that you remain muted until you are instructed to speak. Members of the public cannot engage in any disruptive conduct or loud, threatening, or abusive language during our board meetings. This includes loud outbursts or shouting during times when you have not been invited to speak. Anyone who violates these rules will be removed from the virtual meeting. Serious or repeated violations of the rules may result in your being barred from speaking at future meetings. However, we do appreciate your interest in the board business today, and we thank you in advance for abiding by these rules of conduct. So for the record, I want to acknowledge that we are still operating under the Housing Authority Resident Empowerment Emergency Amendment Act of 2025, which was passed by the District Council on July 28, 2025, which means that we still have 9 voting members, including Commissioners Burbridge and Clay. At this time, I'd like to ask for a roll call to determine if we have a quorum.
Sure. Denise Blackson.
Present.
Thank you. Rosa Burbridge. Leroy Clay.
Present.
Thank you. Jim Dickerson.
Present.
Thank you. Ronnie Harris.
I'm present.
Thank you. Chris Murphy. Jennifer Reed.
Present.
Thank you. Teresa Silla. And Raymond Skinner.
Here.
You have a quorum.
So at this time, I would like the commissioners to consider the minutes of the October 8th, 2025 board meetings. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So move.
In a second,
Second.
all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I think the minutes are approved as presented.
Excuse me, this is Commissioner Burbridge. I am here. I was having a little trouble. Sorry.
I'll make sure the record reflects that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, next we're going to have the Executive Director's report from our Executive Director, Keith Pettigrew.
Mr. Chairman. So on the operational side of the house, we continue to improve on vouchers utilization side. We're at 102%. We sort of forecasted that way back when we began about 2 years ago, looking at a tool that we use to try to track our utilization, especially given the number of vouchers that we had on the street. So we're in pretty good shape about where we thought we would be at this particular time. So I'm happy to say that being over 100% is good. We're at 102, but that's okay because we can manage that through attrition as we move into FY26. On the public housing side of the house, we're at 86.35%. Calvin and her team is still working to try to get people to lease up some of these units. I think the biggest piece for us is going to be at the beginning of next year when we look to open the wait list, and we'll have more discussions about those in the coming months prior to it being opened in order to refresh that list, number one, so that we can now start to lease up units and for the public housing side to get us above 90% utilization. So aside from that, I have a couple of things I want to sort of touch on. I know I missed last month's meeting, personal reasons, but there's several things that I want to touch on that may actually hopefully help some of the witnesses as well, I believe. So the first thing is I want to note is that the admin plan has now been posted with the preference language that we worked on with Commissioner Seal and some others. So we're looking forward to the feedback from that. We're looking at about a 60 to 90 day window.
Yeah, there's a 30-day public comment period. There's a public hearing next week on Tuesday, but written comments will be accepted for the next 30 days. And then we'll come back to the board to hopefully adopt it as emergency and proposed regs in DC.
And once that's actually finalized and approved, that the admin plan is the last piece of closing out about 4 items on the HUD report. And we're just waiting for the admin plan to get out and get approved. So we'll be done with that. We've even spoken to HUD about that. They're excited as well. So the next thing I want to touch on, I'm quite sure has everybody a little bit on edge, the shutdown and where we are, right? So I know last board meeting was noted that we had funding through November, and we still have half funding now through December. We're hoping to get the approval for the operating funds for December. If we don't, we'll figure out ways to make it through December with some of the cash that we have on hand, just so people know that at least we'll be operating through December. But hopefully they'll stop the shutdown today because Congress is voting today. So hopefully the shutdown will stop and then we'll get our full funding and we can be back up and running like we should be going forward. So the next thing I want to touch on is there's a roundtable discussion tomorrow with regard to the local side of the House. And as you all know, we reached out and got a facilitator to meet with both sides as well as advocates to talk about ways to improve that whole process in terms of leasing up vouchers much faster. And so we do have a final draft report that we received. So my understanding that the teams met last week, our team and DHS's team, to talk about the draft report amongst the 2 agencies. And then DHS gave us back some comments. So we took those comments and incorporated them. So we have the roundtable tomorrow. And once the roundtable is complete, so we didn't release the report today because we want to get through the roundtable and see whether anything comes out of that as well.
Any other comments?
Right. Yeah. And then at that point, if we have to modify the report, update it based on how the roundtable comes out. Either way, it's going to be released next week, just so you know. So it will be coming out. I know people are waiting to hear it and see it. I've talked to several people, so it's coming, guys. So hanging there with us.
So I don't know if you can give us a preview, but are you feeling good about it? You think progress has been made?
Yeah, well, I think so because but there's some steps that need to be done, including some legislative stuff.
Oh, really?
In order to be able, because remember now, the local side is a little different than the federal side for us, right? There are rules that don't apply for the local side that apply for us. And I know that they gave us the local program because I saw what it said about the infrastructure that we had in place way back when. But the problem is that what they didn't take into account was there are rules that govern the federal side, that don't govern the local side, that we can't get around. And even when we implemented Yardi, we can't turn off those functions because we're federal. HUD doesn't care about the local side. HUD cares about us and our federal side. So there's some things that may have to be modified. Also, our admin plan has some things that doesn't have some things that they may need to do. And so they've adopted the admin plan as is. But again, because we're running on federal rules as opposed to local flexibility, now you got to go in and change the DCRA. Was it DCMR?
DCMR.
There you go. That's my legislative. So there's some things there, but I think ultimately what came out of it was good dialogue. The report will be released. There'll be more dialogue on the back end, and I think we're moving towards hopefully a better process and solution.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's what we all want.
Yeah. Let's see here. The rebuilding community events for the summer have concluded with the Halloween event, the big Halloween event. We do a big haunted tent over in Southwest.
Okay.
And so there were hundreds of kids, man. They enjoyed it. We started it last year. So now we'll be shifting the focus back to indoors and in the senior properties as we go forward, once we get out of the shutdown, you know. I was invited to speak at CLAFA, last, what was it? What day was it? When it was, a couple weeks ago? Yeah, so we got a lot.
For those who don't know, what is CLAPFA?
Oh, what is it again?
Council of Large-
Council of Large Public Housing. Oh, right, yeah. So anyway, a lot of some of my colleagues, they highlighted the IRB plan, the IRB, the bond deal that we did.
Okay.
And then they asked me to come and speak about it at the event. So it was good to get out and talk a little bit. You're probably going to see a lot of our housing authorities now looking into doing bonds to fill those gaps.
Okay.
Even though people think it's a novel idea, but it's always been there. Nobody's just thought to use it. That's all, you know. But it went over really well. It was just good to be able to see people acknowledge some of the good work that we're doing here at the agency. So,
okay.
Next thing I want to touch on is, and I know, just to piggyback on that, I know we gotten a letter from some resident leaders regarding questions about the bond deal. So, the development team, Aaron and Sheila put together some responses. So Aaron was out on Monday and it hollered yesterday. So she and I are going to meet and then we'll get that letter out to, I think it was Empowerment DC. I think Daniel.
Yeah,
Had sent us a letter. So I just want to note the fact that Daniel, I see you're on. Your letter's coming, brother. And it's coming. And then finally, I want to touch on, I know people have been asking about the recovery plan and where we are. Because we've gotten through actually a full year of recovery plan work. It was 2 6-month reports. And the only reason why I haven't released the second one is because what I wanted to do when I looked at the 6-month report, as well as the previous one, it's a lot of technical stuff in it, right? And, you know, sometimes that's boring reading, but I thought about it too. It's my 2nd year anniversary.
Right.
So I can't believe I made it through 2 years.
Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations, not. Anyway, but also I thought about putting together a companion document, right? A companion document, right? That will give both 6-month reports a little flavor and give it a little more substance, and so you can see some tangible stuff. And so I know you guys can't see me on the screen, but it's about a 78-page document. It touches on every department and all the accomplishments over the last 2 years. And it's quite a bit of stuff, man. I mean, you know, we've had our head to the ground but we've gotten a lot accomplished. A lot of the residents have given us a lot of positive feedback on the changes that they've seen made. Just seeing the staff sort of turn the corner now. And, you know, when we first got here, it's still a mad dash in a way, but you can start to see people are starting to settle in now, right? And I always say it separates the pretenders from the contenders, right? So we're starting to see that a little bit, but we got a lot of good work done. And I'm glad that we were able to highlight some of this stuff in this report. I mean, you know, just some of the events of bringing vendors with services, you know, whether it be counseling services, what have you, because those are the sort of things that touch people the most, right? I mean, we can always talk about some of the departments and improving the systems, right? Upgrading the system so we can operate more efficiently, both in finance as well as in procurement, the capital programs department. I mean, I got to give them a shout out because that whole Langston situation that we never saw coming when the power went out and we had to maintain that property as best we could for like 9 months until they got the switch fixed. I mean, those kind of stories are all in here. Talk about it. The work order numbers have in terms of turnaround time have dropped dramatically because we hired more people in the call center. Right. You see the volume of calls not only go down, but also the wait times go down. So there are a lot of little things in here. I think that you guys are going to see, and when you look at the 6-month report as well, they'll connect. And then you have some pictures as well in here, you know. So I think it's a.
So I thought a couple of things that when I was reading jumped out at me, but you talked about the putting together this care team to work on improving customer service.
Yes.
Right. Care stands for what? Commitment, accountability, respect, and excellence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know where they came up with that name. It sounds like something Nicole came up with that. But anyway, the care team. So, and let me tell you how that came about. You know, I got to give those guys credit. You know, we were dealing with 702 when we initially opened, and it was just a mad rush, right? I mean, we were seeing thousands of people a week. And so we decided that we would, the team was 4 people. They sat down, Ken Slaughter, I think it was John Proctor and Cheryl Robinson. They all got together to talk about how we could manage people coming in the building and making sure that the people that had issues that could be addressed right away, that were very simple, we push them off to a certain group. And then for people that have more substantive issues, then we can handle those. And they've done such a great job. I mean, that, you know, you go over to 702 now, I mean, it's smooth, you know, and the residents and the applicants appreciate the change. So, yeah. Aside from that, I think that is it, sir. Yeah, that's it.
Any questions from any of the commissioners? Jenny, you look like you're,
Sorry, I have one question, Director, and that is, you mentioned we would start having more discussions about the wait list and the process for reopening the wait list to do something next year. Is that something you think we'll be discussing as a board in our December meeting, or what do you think the timeline is for that?
I guess it depends on whether the shutdown is. I mean, we can come back to you in December and talk a little bit about where we currently are, because we did a plan in place and we were just trying to time it right? We initially thought we were gonna do this right about
Yeah.
now. But obviously with the changes in the ACOP and the admin plan, I think that affected a little bit of the schedule as well. So yeah, we can come back in December and share some with you, and or in the subcommittees as well.
Okay, that would be great.
Commissioner Clay?
I don't have any questions, but thank you, Director, for the report. Thank you.
Yeah, I would just also like to thank you and say congratulations to you and your team for all the good work that you've done over the last 2 years. I know it's been hectic, it's been trying, and you know, I really appreciate all that you've done to help turn the agency around, and look forward to seeing the report and some of the data that's in it.
Yeah. Thank my team, man.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They keep me sane, right? These two, Jesus.
Okay. All right. All right, so that concludes the executive director's report. And next, we're going to move on to resident and non-resident testimony. So we'll start with the resident testimony. Each resident will have 3 minutes to provide testimony, and you can comment on the resolutions or bring up any issue that's on your mind.
I'm going to start with Paulette Matthews. And as a reminder, it's *6 to unmute yourself. We should be sending you a promotion request if you are online. Paulette Matthews. I'm going to move forward. Next, we have Kenneth Council. Kenneth Council, we're going to send you a promotion request.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Council.
Good afternoon. I'm sitting here and I'm listening each month, but this one takes the cake. What I'm hearing now is a bunch of gaslighting. I don't know if all the commissioners ever come in one room and discuss certain issues. I don't know if each commissioner knows what's actually going on. I don't know if it's being shared only through the ED and the chair. Yes, the 1st of November made 2 years that the ED has been here. And it's applauding, but it's not what's out on the street. Factual. We're trying to come back in the building because of the shutdown, but the reality, and this is coming from inside the building, the employees are very upset because they want a raise, but a Christmas party is being planned instead. They want their money. The budget still has not been shown. 3 months now. The budget has not been shared with the public or the constituents. So I ask again, when is the budget is going to be shared the fiscal year 26 budget going to be shared? It's nothing but a bunch of gaslighting, and it has to stop. The book is dry ink that you all have all said that how you've gauged and what you've done so well through the agency. That is not what's being done honestly. But eventually, and I've said it once before, a lie can't live, it only lingers. It has a beginning and an ending. You all have to stop. A lot of this money has not reached the constituents. So I would like to know, where is the money and why hasn't the budget been shared with the public? You already said it's been passed, it's been done. You all did the educational symposium. When is the budget going to be shown to the public? Period. Thank you.
Okay. So I was asking the staff if the budget was on our website. I'm not sure if it is, but we can certainly publish the budget on the website.
Please do.
Okay. So I'm told that it is already on there.
Yeah, it was posted September 15th.
It was posted September the 15th. Where would they have to look? What would they click on?
Under about for resolutions executed.
Thank you, Alethea.
Hear that? Okay. Under about and the resolutions. And there was a resolution when we passed the budget, and the budget document is there. Thank you, Mr. Council.
Next, we have Rochelle
Ellison.
Oh, I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry. Trying to show my face. I don't know if you can see me. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, my camera's on, so I'm not sure what's happening. But my name is Rochelle Ellison, and I'm a longtime supporter of DC Housing Authority, and nothing has changed. I'm one of the people that was on the streets for 17 consecutive years with co-occurring disorders, who went from Housing First to graduating from Housing First, but that was only because DCHA, Director Pettigrew, Director Shaw, and this great administration opened the waitlist, which hadn't been done in such a long period of time, that I was able to receive a housing choice voucher and give back my LRSP vouchers to someone in our unhoused population so that they could be housed as well. I'm really grateful for this administration. My only question that I have today is I wanted to know what exactly happens to the vouchers when individuals pass away. Does it get recycled into giving it to the next person on the list, or does it just go back in as finances? That's a question that's been on my mind for quite some time, because I'm the Assistant Director of People for Fairness Coalition, and we're about to have our annual memorial and vigil for those that die without the dignity of a home or a proper burial. So it's been on my spirit to ask that question because I'm uninformed of that answer. Other than that, I have watched this administration take 6,100 people off of a wait list, something that had not been done in 20 years. I was on that wait list from 2008 and got my voucher in August of last year. So they have done an amazing job of keeping us informed. I'm also the co-chair of the expedited lease up, so I will be testifying tomorrow at the roundtable as well. And I have watched the agreements and the suggestions come into fruition, and I have watched DCHA be very accommodating and very understanding and trying to make space for any problems and asking for solutions, not only from DCHA and DHS, but also from those of us with lived experience. I'm just here to advocate for unhoused constituents to be given the public housing and the vouchers that are coming up soon, because we have such limited resources that it's really, really disheartening to go out there and have to tell individuals day in and day out, when we're front door services and boots on the ground, that there's no resources to assist them, and we still keep fighting for whatever resources we have. But then once again, I want to say, Director Shaw, Director Pettigrew, and this administration, you're doing an amazing job. I've always been one of your biggest supporters, and that will continue. Keep up the great work, and thank you for allowing me to testify.
Thank you, Ms. Ellis.
Thank you, Ms.
So for the voucher, can you?
Yes, so for vouchers, if someone has passed away, their voucher, of course, ends, and it's available for the next person on the wait list.
I appreciate that answer.
Yeah,
Unless
mean,
it's remaining
yeah, I
family.
mean,
Okay.
So next we have Elizabeth Johnson. Elizabeth Johnson, we're sending you a promotion request. If you can accept. And it's *6 to unmute yourself.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Johnson. I'm a housing advocate for the unhoused. I'm with People for Fairness Coalition. I just want to know when we're going to get, everybody's going to be on the same page to get people housed and stop taking your time. You know, we have a lot of people out here and it seems like it takes forever. And DCHA, I've noticed they doing a little bit better, but I believe DBH and the rest of them could do a little bit better than what they're doing now. Cause it's, to me, it's not a game. I was unhoused at one time and I got through housing through pathways. So, you know, I'm grateful. And then I'm still trying to understand. I've talked to a few people that in order to get an apartment, you got to come into housing and look at something on the board and then you come out. I don't understand what that was. But yeah, I think we have to do better with these other people that's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's life or death. It's winter time right now. So yeah, I believe that, you know, we got to do better. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Next we have Robert Warren. Robert Warren, sent your promotion request. It's *6 if you want to begin your testimony.
So yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity to testify. My name is Robert Warren. I'm a lifelong DC resident. I'm also one of the members of People Fairness Coalition. Also, I'm a current Poverty Commission at large Poverty Commission member, and you know I've been advocating on behalf of a universal voucher system here in the District of Columbia now for the last 18 years. And mostly that is right now, the focus is on a universal tax-based voucher system here in the District of Columbia. And, you know, it's always been my proposal that the DC Housing Authority lead that effort. And I think my focus today is on, I think Chief Pettigrew talked about you guys opening up the wait list and specifically for the upgraded public housing units. And so I'm just want to just get another, I think it was stated in one of our ICH meetings that some of those upgraded units would be made available for the continuing care here in the District of Columbia. And I'm just trying to get an idea of what that looks like and what that process would be for unhoused community members. And also, I think it was reported that you guys had something like almost $800 million in your resource portfolio. And I'm also wondering, would some of that money be allowed to be utilized to offer more better healthcare and wellness services on public housing sites? And I know you guys do some things as far as food pantries and other things along those lines for senior citizens in their buildings, but more so a little bit more focused health services as relate to people that might come into your system who needs permanent supported housing support. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you guys today. Really appreciate the work you guys are doing, and I really appreciate where the Housing Authority has been headed in the last few years. So yeah, thank you guys, and hope we can continue to move towards a fully funded universal voucher system, and you guys can be the catalyst of actually putting that forth, because I think it actually represents racial equity here in the District of Columbia and people being able to end their poverty when it comes to being able to be adequately housed. And that's a big issue when it comes to people being able to end their poverty. So yeah, thank you guys again.
Thank you, Mr. Warren.
Next, we have, I want to say it's Nashanta, please correct me, Nashanta Washington. And it's *6 to speak if you're having issues.
Okay, hello, I'm here, that's correct.
Okay,
Can
we hear
can you hear me?
hear
We can
you.
hear you.
Okay, good afternoon, commissioners. As said before, my name is Nia Shanta Washington, and I'm a DC Housing Choice Voucher participant. And I'm here because I believe recipients deserve a timely recertification process, and just as importantly, a timely processing of their moving package so that no one's housing is delayed or put at risk. In July, I submitted my recertification through Rent Cafe. Everything was completed and uploaded on time. When I decided I wanted to move in October, I scheduled an appointment to get an updated voucher, but the process turned into a complete nightmare. Despite repeated calls, emails, I went to the 702 office 3 times. My caseworker, Mr. Cameron Isaac, did not complete my recertification, even though it was promised to be completed by October the 31st. After my 3rd visit, I reached out to Council Member Robert White's office and several supervisors. Each time I went into the office, I saw other recipients facing similar or worse issues with their housing specialists. And this problem just shows it's beyond just my case. On my 4th visit to H Street, the issue still wasn't resolved. I asked to speak to a supervisor, Mr. Queen. He handled the issue. He scheduled my appointment, and I did get an updated voucher. But it should never take 4 months, multiple visits, and so much stress to complete this process that's supposed to take, I think, about 30 days. So now, since I have my updated, my voucher was issued to me, I'm in the process of my apartment package being submitted soon. And I hope that this process is handled in a timely manner, especially since after all the delays I already experienced. And I'm just asking the board if they can ensure better accountability, clear communication, and a more active oversight over the caseworkers so the delays and mistakes caught and corrected before it affects the recipients. Thank you for your time and listening to my experience.
Thank you, Ms. Washington. Sorry to hear about your experience, but we're continually working to make improvements in processing time and customer service. So the staff heard you, and I'm sure they will follow up.
We're tracking.
Right.
Yeah. Got a name.
Keisha spoke.
So next we have Pat Malloy. Pat Malloy, we have sent you a promotion request. *6 if you're having difficulty speaking.
Can you hear me?
You can.
Yes, you can. Hi, Ms. Malloy.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patricia Malloy, former Lincoln Heights resident and resident council president. On October the 27th, 2025, an email was sent to Director Pettigrew, CC to Nicole, Raymond Scanners, Sheila Miller, and Amy Glassman of DCHA. Daniel from Empower DC sent the email on behalf of myself, the president of Potomac Garden Family, vice president also of the Citywide Advisory Board. president of the Horizon House, president from South Heights Garden, a resident of Greenleaf Senior, president of Fort DuPont, and president of the Citywide Advisory Board. Our email was sent in reference to questions, comments, and recommendations related to Section 18 in our RB renovation properties. Director Pettigrew, I heard what you said in your report. No one from your office or you have not acknowledged receipt of the email nor responded to the email. We asked for a response to the email within 2 weeks. Is there a reason why we received no response? We are not robots. We are human beings. I know we all go through things, but to me, the email that the leaders put together was very crucial and timely to us. Also, Director Pettigrew, at the end of today's Board of Commissioners meeting, I would really appreciate if you would call me or Nicole. I have some very important information that I didn't want to speak about live, but I would like to speak to you or either Nicole. Thank you for listening.
Okay, I'll give you a call, Ms. Moore.
Thank you, Ms. Malloy.
Next, we have Angelia Scott. Angelia Scott. I'm going to move forward. Next, I'm going to call Laverne Bryant. Laverne Bryant. Moving forward. Donna Towns. Donna Towns, we just sent you the promotion.
Hello?
Hi, Ms. Towns, I can hear you.
Good day, everyone. Hello, my name is Donna Towns. And Director Pettigrew, I'm looking forward to a follow-up meeting with you to bring a resolution to the issues in which I've dealt with as a Park Morton resident. And in October, when I met you, I saw you at the ribbon cutting and everything. I was hoping to get a scheduled appointment to meet with you, but here I am again on this line requesting a follow-up meeting. I've been trying for over a year to get a follow-up meeting. So I'm looking forward to meeting with you all sometime in the near future. And I just want to bring resolution or some for the loss of my property. Although I was complying in my tenant obligations, paying my rent, was certified, everything, willing to open my doors for repairs and everything. But the staff, Miss Betty Diallo, she didn't do any repairs. I've requested them all the time. But then on one day, she called me, come tell me sign this lease. I signed the lease. She promised it was going to be a temporary move so that they can do the repairs in my apartment. And also, I've sent you the layout of how everything happened in the email last year. And ever since I did that, I haven't been able to get a follow-up appointment. So DCHA, Park Morton managers, each one of them did me wrong. Did me wrong. Ms. Barnes, I submitted paperwork to get my daughter removed from the lease. Those charges remained on my account for a long time, but it was finally resolved by Ms. Nona E. And then I got this a balance on my resident ledger again. But that is resolved. But I'm going to forward the documentation that I have composed regarding the most current resident ledger. And I just want a resolution to everything that I've gone through. Director Pettigrew, am I going to get a am I going to get a meeting soon?
Right. Listen, I think we got our signals crossed at Park Morton. I thought you were going to reach out to Carla. Just get on my calendar. But don't worry, we'll call you immediately.
Okay, I didn't quite hear what you said, but I look forward to hearing from Miss Hernandez.
Good day. I got you, my dear.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Allison.
thank you. Bye-bye.
So that concludes our resident. We're gonna move to our non-resident testimony. First, we have Wade Simmons. Wade Simmons. Moving forward. Latoya McNeil. You just sent your promotion request. Star
Hello.
6. Yes, we can hear you. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Latoya McNeil. I'm calling about a complaint due to me losing my voucher because housing was taking too long to answer my portals, and a lot of properties has dropped me because of that. And I'm trying to figure out what's the steps I can take because it's out of my hands if the property no longer wants to rent with me because of housing not answering doing the portals.
So, yeah, we can have a staff person follow up with you, Ms. McNeil.
Thank you, because I have reached out to a chairman about the situation because it's not my fault. You know, it's nothing I can do if the properties no longer want to work with me because of the prolonging of housing. And I did get an extension in the tolling time, but I just kept getting dropped by the properties. And I do have a relative that can also speak on my behalf because he's been with me the whole step of the way.
Okay, again, we'll have a staff person reach out to you. We have your information.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we're gonna go to Kelly McShane. We sent your promotion request. Star 6, so we can begin your testimony.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. So I am Kelly Sweeney McShane. I'm the president and CEO of Community of Hope. I have spoke to the board several times this year about conducting a process review to remove barriers and speed up the time from application to lease up with the local LRSP program. There have now been 3 meetings, including one on September 17th, which I attended. While I understand that Director Pettigrew has received a report, I have yet to see it or hear about any follow-up. I'm pleased to hear that we should see it next week. Thank you, Director. But I am here to ask that that there be movement and communication to the community on next steps and how we move forward. In attending the September meeting, I was struck again by the many, many steps that need to happen to get from matching to lease up. I was also pleased by the open and solutions-focused conversations between DHS and the DCHA staff. While there are many areas of agreement, such as allowing self-certification for various pieces of information, there do continue to be some significant areas that need to be resolved, including what it will take for Rent Cafe to work for the unhoused and vulnerable populations in PSH. As Director Pettigrew mentioned, I believe there are some items in the recommendations that require just a change to the standard operating procedures. Others may need changes to the admin plan. I'm a little worried that there's only 30 days to address those, or legislation. The facilitator said these would be included in her report, and I hope they are, and I'm eager to see it. Change management I know is hard, but it is possible with champions, tight project management, and a clear work plan. I hope that we can see a document that outlines what steps are being taken by what date with the people responsible for each item named. Key actions need to be also developed around communications and measuring progress, and I hope that these are included. I'm definitely a bit frustrated that many of us have been advocating for improvement for more than a year, and it is hard to see systematic progress. And I think we've heard a couple comments from public witnesses today. If DCHA and DHS are making changes, it's not being communicated well to clients or providers. And while there is some data that the backlog in applications has been caught up and there are more lease-ups than last year, I'm concerned that there's still not an efficient, consistent process, and that there are big changes coming with the Rent Cafe implementation in January, which could create more confusion. Community of Hope and other providers stand ready to be partners in this process, and we look forward to hearing about next steps as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McShane.
Mr. Chairman, do we want to give staff just an opportunity to respond to that? I'd love to hear what the response is.
You already said it, but.
Yeah.
I think Commissioner Murphy was late, so we needed her.
I was late. I apologize.
Pull you out. I was gonna say.
No. I welcome it. No, just so they understand, I joined a half an hour late.
Yes, I did, Commissioner Murphy, touch on where we were with the final report. I noted that both DCHA staff and DHS staff met last week to go over the draft and make some amendments to it based on a recommendation from DHS. That the report will be out next week. We're hoping to take away some other points from the roundtable tomorrow in terms of incorporating that as well into the plan. So it'll be out for everyone to review and see. Hopefully it will touch on all of the areas that Ms. McShane has noted. And if not, we'll continue to work together to improve it. I know there have been some improvements. The Rent Cafe issue is a little touchy because Rent Cafe is set up for the federal side and not the local side. Remember that we're federal agency, we run federal vouchers, and that's one of the challenges that we're gonna have is trying to modify Rent Cafe to work for DHS when technically, it's set up for the federal process and not the local process, given some of the rules that govern the local process that we can't bypass. So there's some things that still need to be worked out as we go forward, but the report will be out next week.
That's great. Thank you. I appreciate you repeating yourself. So thank you.
For you, anything.
Be careful what you offer.
All right. Next, we have Kristen Barden.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Kristen Barden, and I am the Executive Director of the Adams Morgan Partnership Business Improvement District, or the AMP BID. This is my first time testifying, I think, in front of DCHA. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. In my role here in Adams Morgan for the last 16 years, and in my life in DC since 1994, I have been a huge supporter of small businesses and vibrant public spaces. I am also the daughter of 2 United Methodist clergy, and growing up living in parsonages next to churches, there were always lots of people with lots of needs that my parents and their churches helped along the way. I recently heard about DCHA's efforts to streamline and improve the voucher approval and lease-up process, and I felt moved to emphasize just how important this work is in the Adams Morgan community. Every day that a matched individual remains unhoused is another day they endure harsh weather, repeated encampment cleanups, and potentially stressful engagements with law enforcement or other people who don't understand their situations. I've seen firsthand how these delays can erode trust between residents experiencing homelessness and the service providers who are trying to help them. With someone who is told again and again to wait, even after being matched with housing, that trust and often their hope starts to fade. The impacts extend far beyond the individuals themselves. In Adams Morgan, our AMP bid clean team spends significant time cleaning up encampment sites, often repeatedly all over the neighborhood. In fact, just now I got some more images of a new encampment in front of the Truist building at Adams Mill and Columbia Road. We coordinate frequently with service providers and sometimes law enforcement. We field complaints from neighbors and hear concerns from businesses worried about lost customers and deteriorating public spaces. These ongoing challenges take time, resources, and energy that could be better spent helping people transition into stable housing and the mental health services they all so desperately need. I hope that DCHA can still make some of its existing resources available to people living outside and in our shelters. I hope that DCHA might be able to give preference to people experiencing homelessness. I would like to ask that DCHA allocate at least 50% of the federally funded resources, including public housing, to those who are currently experiencing homelessness. The efficiency with which DCHA carries out its work has ripple effects throughout the entire community, not just for those waiting for housing, but for the neighborhoods, businesses, and residents who are deeply affected by the pace of that progress. Thank you for your continued commitment to improving the housing voucher process and for the opportunity to share this perspective today. I'm happy to take any questions about my experiences here in Adams Morgan with the voucher process. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Barton.
Next, we have Bryce Lieberman. And we have sent you a promotion request. *6 so that we can hear your testimony.
Yes. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you to the board for allowing me to speak today. My name is Bryce Lickerman, and I'm here with my colleague Mason Lickstraw. We are student attorneys in the Georgetown University Law Center Communications and Technology Law Clinic, doing research and client counseling on issues related to housing fairness. We are currently working on issues concerning rent reasonableness determinations and DC's Housing Choice Voucher Program. Among our chief concerns are 1, potential inefficiencies stemming from a lack of transparency into how affordablehousing.com determines rent reasonableness for landlords, and 2, the potential for landlords to artificially impact affordablehousing.com's rent reasonableness determination calculus. The district's heavy reliance on affordablehousing.com's potentially faulty algorithm may present discriminatory impacts on economically vulnerable residents, perpetuating the very issues that the housing voucher program seeks to address. The use of the rent reasonableness algorithm creates many errors with respect to comparable unit values, which unfairly deny HCV applicants housing in communities of color. Further, without the proper rent reasonableness review mechanisms in place, the district risks approving inaccurate and inflated unit rents.
To improve housing fairness in DC, we urge the board to undertake 2 matters. First, to investigate the district's use of affordablehousing.com, and second, to implement systems for continuous review of the website's algorithm. In addition, we recommend the board explore options to increase rent reasonableness determinations, transparency for both landlords and housing choice voucher holders. For example, the district could 1, increase the number of DC employees making rent reasonableness determinations. 2, increase quality control testing on affordablehousing.com's algorithm to ensure accuracy and fairness. And 3, provide more avenues for housing choice voucher holder feedback. These solutions will lead to fewer voucher holder and landlord complaints and increase the accuracy of rent reasonableness determinations. In turn, these outcomes will save the district administrative costs and increase voucher holder satisfaction. We appreciate the board's hard work and dedication in its effort to help DC. residents and look forward to its work to strengthen the DC housing voucher program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lickerman. So I would say if you, I know you're doing research, but if you could submit your findings and any recommendations you have to us, then the staff can look at those and consider what you're recommending.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was going to suggest the same thing, so you beat me to it. Appreciate you.
Next, we have Daniel Del Paliego. We have promoted you as a panelist. Star 6 so that we can hear your testimony.
Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Del Pielago. I'm an organizer with Empower DC. I want to thank Ms. Malloy. I want to clarify that the letter, the email that was sent was on behalf of the named tenants there. While I surely do want to know the questions and share the comments that were in there, it was a cooperative effort of the people that Ms. Malloy listed. With that said, we look forward to the response and we look to further engagement around these issues. And why we think this is very important, Director Pettigrew and everybody there, is because we've been doing outreach to all the majority of the affected properties, I'll say. And we've been going door to door, knocking on folks, providing a summary of the presentations that DCHA made over the summer. And I was taken aback by the number of folks who didn't really know and or understand what was happening with the renovation project. Relocation is daunting for many folks. Folks have been already relocated from other properties, as you well know. The lack of information, if I'm not mistaken, many of the presentations, if not all, said that tenants would be contacted in October to begin, conversations about the relocation process. I didn't hear from any of the folks we spoke to that said that they had heard from anybody about that. So I really do encourage the Housing Authority, because this timeline seems awfully short, right? It is November. March is knocking on our door. And that's a timeline that's been set for people to relocate in order to have these renovations done. The positive thing is that folks do want renovations, and we think that that is a great goal. We hope that that what unfortunately has marred, I think, many of these larger redevelopment plans of the Housing Authority is the lack of communication. Oftentimes makes folks feel unsettled, and that lack of trust continues. So, as mentioned, look forward to hearing the response and look forward to further engagement. As I mentioned, I'd love to be part of it, but I'm the organizer here. It's really on the behalf of the named folks, those leaders that are asking these very questions. So, thank you for your time. Appreciate to talking soon.
Thank you, Daniel. We'll be out. Obviously, the shutdown affected us a little bit in terms of a pause. So the October month meetings, we were regrouping to try to figure out where we were going with the shutdown. But I know that Aaron and the team and Sheila and the team are preparing documents and start revisiting you guys with a schedule. And some of this time frame may get pushed out. We understand. And we're not going to force feed anybody. And we will work with you guys in order to make this a smooth transition. We do understand that relocation, any move that an individual makes, whether it's relocation or not, is always stressful. And so when we came out in the summer and started talking about it, obviously I was at several of those events doing the presentations and answering the questions. So our commitment is to maintain communication. I understand the trust factor, and obviously trust is earned. And so we're going to earn the trust as we go forward. We're going to send out the response to you guys, and understand that they also have a meeting with Ms. Malloy later on today. So we'll communicate with you, and you always know where to find us, right? So we'll work together, brother. We got it. We'll work with you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
Next, we have Andy Watsonek. Just sent you a promotion request. Star 6 so that we can hear your testimony. Okay. I'm gonna move forward.
Oh,
Oh, okay, can you hear
hi,
me?
I'm sorry. I thought I was already good to go and I was already talking. Apologies.
You have 3 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Okay. All right, sorry. So I'm Andy Wasnick, Director of Policy at Miriam's Kitchen, homeless services provider here in the district. I'm here again to talk about the process review program and transparency and reporting out of the agreements that were made in those sessions in July and September of this year regarding the local program. The process review sessions, as I said before, were positive and encouraging, and I was really struck by the passion that the DCHA staff brought to their work and to the room, and the engagement that they had with DHS as well. And one of the other things that really struck me about this, because I don't know that I was expecting this going in, was that all the recommendations that were discussed in the meetings were on DCHA's side of the court. I don't recall a single action item for DHS discussed in the room. And so, we are now 2 months out after that last session, and we haven't received any communications. Obviously, we hear that the report's coming next week, and we're most grateful for that. But as Ms. McShane alluded to, for those of us in the provider community, it's really anxiety-inducing for all this time to go by when we have been, reaching out and making efforts for more than a year for some of these requests. And we haven't seen anything like, we know that there have been general improvements, but in terms of like action items that were actually discussed, simple items like identifying and circulating proper points of context for assorted items has not been formally addressed to my knowledge. And we are still hearing reports of emails and calls from providers not getting responses. And these were actionable issues that were addressed in the process review. One of our greatest concerns, of course, is that we understand, or that DHS has also received the report from the facilitator, and that many of the items here that were discussed as action items, like Yardi or Rent Cafe is the solution to them. And I hope that is indeed the case. But again, from our provider position, there have been changes in computers and software systems before, and we were told that this was going to solve everything. And the fact of the matter is that it hasn't. And we want to be sure that whatever this, if it is this great panacea, that still that Rent Cafe, needs to work for the clients that we serve, the folks who are technologically, illiterate, who are older, and who have little to no access to technology and email addresses and things like that. These characteristics are unlikely to change in the near to medium term, given the cost of technology and the age of our population. And so we really want DHS and providers and case managers to be able to see and track the status of their clients every step of the way throughout the process. And that's all I have time for at the moment. Thank you very much.
Next, we have William Jordan. William Jordan. We just sent you a promotion request as to be a panelist, star 6, so you can begin your testimony.
Good afternoon.
Hey,
I hope
good
everyone is doing well. I wanted to speak first on the Park Morton RAD process. Now, we've known about this RAD process for Park Morton for at least 4 years. And I'm understanding now from some residents that we're running around now trying to put together RAD meetings with the residents when the residents aren't organized to be a part of those meetings. So if we don't have a resident council in place or a tenant association in place, but now you want to have RAD meetings. But when we had those things in place, we didn't have RAD meetings, and that's been 4 years. So either way, the residents, each resident should understand RAD and how it impacts them long before they make a decision to move or not move back to the property. So again, that goes back to the point of running a project where residents aren't represented, can't represent themselves. And this has other impacts as well. And we're dealing with it now. You know, we have youth curfews in Navy Yard, but we all know that Navy Yard is really the offspring of a Hope 6 project, right? So we have a situation where we are organizing so that our young people can't participate in the Navy Yard. And the goal of the policies is to push those young people into areas where they're part of the public housing community, if you understand what I mean. And some of those are part of those communities. So I think we have, you know, we always talk about having a village, but it's the housing that to raise a child, but housing is dismantling the village. DCHA is dismantling the village. And now we want to blame our young people, right, for not having a village. And then blame the parents for not taking care of the young people when we just dismantled the village by our own processes. So I really want to put that in, that the housing authority has to be a part of all these processes, including the rental act. So we have a rental act that strips everybody of all of their rights. The housing authority is ignoring the rights, and then we want the village to function. Then finally, I was at the ribbon cutting for Park Morton. And so Shantae High, who had been the only elected person, wasn't invited to speak, right? And that particular project would not have moved forward without her advocacy, right? Because the housing authority and DCHA wanted to wait till after Bruce Monroe to get started on the property. It was our advocacy that got money allocated, and then it was hijacked, but then allocated and then moved over. And then finally, I spoke to Bart Mitchell, and I said to him, who's TCB, who's the lead developer, and I complained about the lack of 3-bedroom units in the building. And he said to me, the residents didn't want 3-bedroom units. And so that's why we built it that way. And I know that that is nonsense. So, you know, there are a lot of things we need to clean up. You know, we want to work with you, but if there are no active resident organization, they can act independently and get the resources they need. It's a false engagement. So to come back and have RAD now with no organization in place, it's just checking boxes, and we can do better. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan.
Yes. So Mr. Jordan, we can have someone contact you, because I think there's no RAD meetings going on for, as we're doing on other properties, because their property is vacant. But we are bringing in some units, replacement units under the RAD program. So it's a little different, but we can have Sheila or team reach out to you to explain that process and answer any other questions you may have.
Thank you.
Chairman Skinner, that concludes the testimony for today.
Okay, again, I want to thank everyone who took the time to provide testimony today. We're going to move on to our next agenda item, which are the board committee reports. And we're going to start with the Committee on Budget, Audit, and Finance. Commissioner Reed chairs that committee.
Thank you, Chairman. If you don't mind, I would ask if Commissioner Clay could provide the update. I was unable to attend last week's meeting, and he ran it in my absence.
All right, Commissioner. Okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Reed, and thank you, Chair Skinner. So first of all, we have one resolution for the Committee on Budget, Audit, and Finance. But before we move into that resolution, I do want to take a moment to recognize the departure of Heather Mueller, who served as the CFO Her last day with the agency was last Wednesday. During her brief yet impactful tenure, she helped shepherd the agency through 3 years of audits that had not been completed to bring the agency current. She addressed issues in the Yardi implementation to fully implement Yardi. She led her team to address various issues that came out of the OIG audit, such as working to bring cash reconciliations current, entering transactions more timely, and beginning to implement a month-end close process. So it was a pleasure working with Heather, and she'll certainly be missed. So I did want to recognize Heather. And so with that, I ask you to turn your attention to Resolution 2537 to approve 6 RAD properties proposed operating budgets for the calendar year 2026. There are a total of 8 total RAD properties. However, 2 of those are owned and managed by the Housing Authority, so their budgets were approved as part of the Housing Authority's 2026 budget. These remaining 6 operate on a calendar year as opposed to a fiscal year and are before us today. HUD does require that RAD project owners submit operating budgets to the contract administrators annually. And as the contract administrator, the Housing Authority must approve these budgets. And so that's kind of an introduction. I believe Grace Campion is going to walk us through these.
Good afternoon. Yes, I can speak on Resolution 2537. As Commissioner Clay aptly summarized, this is really a duty of the Housing Authority Board to approve the 6 RAD property proposed operating budgets for calendar year 26. In the committee, we reviewed the budgets with the committee members, so I don't think we need to go through that extensively here. And I'm available if there are any additional questions.
So these budgets are prepared by the property managers?
Right, correct. I'll name the 6 properties, so they're in the record.
For the record, correct.
The Asbury, Capper Senior 1, Henson Ridge Rental 1, Fairlawn Marshall, Kenilworth 166, and Matthews Memorial Terrace.
Any questions from the board members? Hearing none, can we have a motion to approve Resolution 25-37 to approve 6 RAD budgets for calendar year 2026?
So moved.
Commissioner Harris, motion to approve.
Second?
A second.
Okay. 25.
Commissioner Ronnie Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Reed, you're on mute if you.
Oh, sorry, we couldn't hear you for a second, but
Yep.
we can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Rosa Burbridge,
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy, Chris Murphy.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Jim Dickerson,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Leroy Clay,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Denise Blackson,
Yes.
thank you. Chairman Skinner,
Yes.
the resolution is approved.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Rick Clay, you want to continue?
Yes. So other than that, just a few updates. The OIG FY 2025 audit is underway, and the preliminary field work began in July. And so that in the interim work was completed October 31st. The authority is expected to finalize financial statements by the 14th of this month. And so to date, the audit has been moving along smoothly. Other than that, we received a financial update, and the agency continues to perform as expected. Lastly, we heard from the Office of Audit and Compliance in that meeting as well, where they shared a preliminary audit plan for 2026. And I believe they're going to meet with the executive team to go over that plan. And we should be hearing a final plan very soon. And that's all that I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the audit and budget committee? Hearing none, we'll move on to the Committee on Capital Projects. Commissioner Murphy chairs that committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Do you want us to hold the resolution that we talked about, or do you want to bring that up as part of the committee report?
Yes, as part of the committee report. You can-
Okay, terrific, great. So the bulk of our last meeting was to talk about Henson Ridge or Henson 2 and the accessibility units. We have a resolution on that today. Sheila, I'm thinking that maybe you are presenting on this one. Is that right?
Yes.
Great. So this follows the previous work that we had approved for Henson 1, and the good news is that work is well underway. So we're now following with Henson 2 and then the accessibility units, which are contiguous or adjacent or mixed in with the Henson 2 units, I think. Sheila, you want to take it away?
Thank you, Commissioner. The resolution, DCHA 2538, seeks the authorization for the executive director to sign all financing documents to facilitate the closing of Henson 2 and accessibility. The closing of the financing documents will facilitate a recapitalization and renovation of Henson 2 as well as accessibility. You may recall about this time last year, we sought approval to, and the approval was granted. We sought approval to purchase the limited partnership interest in the Henson Ridge redevelopment. We closed on Henson 1. And as you mentioned, Commissioner, the redevelopment is underway for Henson 1. And we mentioned that we will come back with Henson 2 and accessibility with the same request. So that is what we have for you today. Any questions?
Questions on 2538? So if there are none, can we get a motion to approve resolution 2538? So move. And second?
Second?
Roll call vote, please.
Sure. Commissioner Leroy Clay,
Aye.
Commissioner Ronnie Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Jenny Reed, sorry.
Yes.
Commissioner Jim Dickerson,
Yes.
Commissioner Denise Blackson,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosa Burbridge.
Yes, I vote yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Chris Murphy,
Yes.
thank you, and Chairman Raymond Skinner.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Murphy, anything else on the Committee on Capital Projects?
The only thing else to mention is that we did get a brief update on the status of the IRB funded projects, and we talked a little bit about the Greenleaf development that has been delayed, and the staff I know is working diligently to try to find a way through Greenleaf and also making progress on the IRB projects, which were, I think, modestly slowed up because of the government shutdown. So now that that seems to be like it's clearing up, we're hoping that that will allow us to get back on track on that project. So we'll be looking for updates from the staff at future meetings on both projects.
I'm going to ask Executive Director Pettigrew, can you give, for the benefit of myself and probably others, a little update on Greenleaf, where we are with Greenleaf?
Yeah, well, so you want to talk about it?
Over the course of,
And you are?
oh, I'm sorry, my name is David Cortiella, Cortiella. Just for the record. For a better part of almost 2 years, we worked closely with the development partners for Greenleaf. The development partners are EYA and Penrose. Understanding the state of affairs in the equity markets for affordable housing in the district, we made concessions to the partners to allow them for us to pay more of the pre-development costs, which is something that a lot of housing providers, and especially housing authorities have been doing, is in order to stimulate the market, you need to take a greater share of the equity investment at the front end. Second thing that we did is that we laid out a series of new requirements for the property. The property, as originally negotiated in 2022, was looking to RAD the subsidies in the senior building. We said, no, I mean, there's enough there for an obsolescence for the entire site. So we submitted a Section 18 application, and that was one of the numerous Section 18 applications that were approved by HUD. So therefore, instead of looking for RAD rents that are lower than a Section 8 rent, we increased the operating revenues for the property, therefore allowing the project to really be thought of differently. And as a result, then also to demolish the existing senior building and build a senior building new across M Street. So we took a lot of steps, right? And unfortunately, you expect partners to reciprocate in terms of coming to the table actively wanting to pursue the deal, that we haven't felt it.
So, but the big change, I guess, from the community's perspective is that you want to now demolish the senior building. Right.
Right, and that was what the board approved on the revitalization plan.
Okay. So in terms of time frame, what are we talking about now? Next steps are
Meeting with internally, get a strategy together, understand what are our options, have a meeting with the development partners, and see where we stand right now and move forward.
okay. So but the issue is really putting the finance package together that works for us as the housing authority, but also for our development partners. Okay. So that's
Mr. Chairman, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. I do think the committee has been increasingly frustrated at the lack of progress on this, and this may be coming to a boiling point where we have to make some tough decisions. So this has been going on for so long, and we kind of got to call the question on whether these are the right folks we want to continue to partner with.
So I'm frustrated too, and that's why I asked the question.
Yeah, no, I guessed, and I just wanted you to know that the committee very much shares your impatience.
We've been talking about this for a long time. So
Yep.
I'd like to get it resolved and make a decision, and let's
move.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Next is Committee on Operations and Administrative Services. I think we have a couple of committee members. I don't know if you're prepared to talk about the resolutions or not. If we have the staff talk through the two resolutions. Commissioner Harris or Commissioner Blackson?
Staff can talk about it.
So Commissioner, I'm sorry, Nicole.
Yes.
Deputy Executive Director.
Nicole, I like
Right.
So we have resolution 25-35, which is to authorize execution of contracts for some lead abatement, lead renovation, repair, and painting services.
Yeah, I'll start it off, and Jean, if you want to come up for this one. So this resolution is really continuation of services. So we have, the team went out with an RFP to procure long-term services to award to multiple contracts. And this is to keep up with lead testing, lead abatement, paint work, and so on and so forth. So it's really just day-to-day operations. Our current contracts had expired, so we went back out to get new vendors on board. I'll turn it over to Jean just to talk quickly about the procurement process.
So just, is this targeted to specific developments or is this across the board?
Across the board. So any units that under like EPA or US Environmental Protection Agency that we had requirements, and also by HUD on lead testing, testing units, mitigating, painting, and so on and so forth. So it's across our portfolio.
It's public housing though.
Yes, public housing,
That's-
yeah, across our public housing portfolio.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jean Somerville, Procurement and Contracting Senior VP. As Nicole mentioned, we issued an RFP for a multiple award for lead abatement, renovation, repair, and painting services. We are asking the board to approve contracts for Sandow, Salute, and as well as VCAS contractors for a one base year contract with option years for a total of $250,000 per contractor. If there
Are any of those the incumbents that are already doing the work?
yes, so Sandow is an incumbent.
Is one of them.
Yes.
Okay. Questions from the board? If still no questions, can we get a resolution, a motion to approve resolution 25-35?
So move.
Motion. No.
Second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Sure. Commissioner Rosa Burbridge,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Jim Dickerson,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Leroy Clay,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Chris Murphy,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Jennifer Reed,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Ronnie Harris,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Denise Blackson,
Yes.
thank you, and Chairman Skinner.
Yes,
Resolution is approved.
thank you all. Thank you, Jean.
You're welcome.
So the next item on the agenda is resolution 25-36. And that's to authorize submission to the DC Council of agreements to enter into long-term subsidy contracts for projects awarded through DHCD's FY22 RFP.
Noelle was
Renat,
out.
if you can, is Noelle? Oh,
Yeah,
there-
yeah, yeah.
Noelle.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm Noelle Wishart. I currently serve as the HCVP Utilization Supervisor. I'm here to present this resolution seeking the board's authorization to submit new local rental supplement program project-based contracts to DC Council for approval. This initiative is a partnership with the Department of Housing and Community Development to create or preserve affordable housing for district residents earning at or below 30% of the area median income. DHCD has confirmed the availability of these LRSP operating subsidies to support 3 projects that are 950 Eastern Avenue Northeast, 3218 Wisconsin Avenue Northwest, 2229 M Street Northeast. Collectively, these 3 projects will add about 42 new affordable housing units supported by approximately $959,000 in LRSP operating funds. While DHCD does manage the selection and provides the funding, they will not be a party to these contracts. These contracts would be executed between DCHA and the project owners. At this time, does anyone have any questions?
Any questions from the board members? Hearing none, then I'll ask for a motion to approve resolution 25-36 to approve contracts for DHCDs. FY 2022 RFP awardees.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote on the motion.
Sure. Commissioner Ronnie Harris,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Denise Blackson,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Jim Dickerson,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Rosa Burbridge,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Leroy Clay,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Chris Murphy,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Jennifer Reed,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Raymond Skinner.
Yes.
The resolution is approved.
Okay, thank you all. Okay, and finally, last but not least, we have our Resident Services Committee. That's Commissioner Blackson.
Good afternoon. At our November 10th meeting, we had presentations from the Office of Resident Services. As you know, this committee is strongly engaged with resident input and resident engagement. We also had a presentation from Carolyn Cornegay Punter with updates on the HCVP program based on types of vouchers, household and family size, as well as AMI. We also had a demographic on the bond sites, very detailed, very informative, and I appreciate the breakdown from Ms. Punter. We briefly discussed the resident notice that went out to all the public housing residents, which we will discuss further in detail at the block by block meeting. Just want to thank Mr. Harris for his great presentation, as well as Ms. Punter. This committee continues to push on the initiatives for the block by block and other initiatives we're working out on this year. And I want to thank you all. If you would like to reach me, I could be reached at 202-250-4451. We do not have any resolutions that came out of this committee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Blackson. We'll continue to do the great work with the block by block initiative. Okay, that's all of our committee reports and resolutions for today. So at this time, any of the commissioners have any other issues they'd like to bring before the board today?
I have one question, Commissioner Burbridge, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Have we finished with the homeless definition? Has that been updated? Have we finished with that?
So partly, so the administrative plan was issued for public comment today with a draft proposed homeless preference that that would have, you know, one version of a homeless preference. So that's in there. We're still working on a homeless preference on the public housing side for the ACOP. So
okay, thank you. Because what I am concerned about, how do you qualify to be homeless? And I also want to make sure that the homeless definition is not tailored or crafted to just meet the needs of agencies or organizations, but that it's a preference for someone who is real-time and truly homeless. I mean, in this definition, have we included people who do not go to the local DHS or do not have an agency representing them? Are we including people who are homeless so that they can be housed too? I'm just throwing that out there because sometimes we craft things and we're doing it correctly, but we're not, because I just don't understand how can a person
be homeless, yet not qualify, yet not have a part of that preference reach them. So I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. That's all. I don't want us to get so into the language that we are eliminating those who are truly in need. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Reed.
Oh, thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to follow up on the comments Commissioner Clay made earlier about my appreciation for Heather Mueller, our departed CFO. She just did such a fantastic job. As Commissioner Clay mentioned, I think one of my favorite things that she did, in addition to all of the work that was, obviously required of her, was publishing the budget guide last year, which was her attempt to really help us produce a more user-friendly tool to explain our budget to our residents and to the public. And so we'll very much miss her and really, really appreciate all of the very difficult work that she has done, both to catch the agency up in terms of audits, as well as really get things under control and lay a good foundation for those who come next. So thank you very much.
Okay, Commissioner Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am so sorry for being late. And so I had 2 quick questions that you may have already covered previously, and if so, I apologize. The first one is just a very minor one, which is that I think in the board materials, I think we need to add the FY26 capital expense to the chart, because right now it stops at 25, and now that we're in 26, seems like we should start tracking the 26. The second one was just more of a question around PHA occupancy. And I'm just, I know I'm a broken record on this, but it just seems like we are having a really hard time getting that number up. It's basically the vacancy number held, as far as I can tell, which is at least in the 80s, which is better than it was before. It seems like the vacancies are concentrated at like 7 or 8 properties that are kind of lower than, or around or lower than 70%. So I just want to give the staff an opportunity to sort of talk about what some of the challenges they continue to experience and whether they think there is an opportunity to get that number up.
Carolyn's not here, so I'll take it. This is Nicole. So some of the challenges, of course, is the wait list, which will be opening soon. There are many individuals they've reached out to several times, and with no success, whether they don't want the unit due to location, too small, that could be something. We are also doing several transfers, just internal, so that's a wash. So if someone's in a unit that needs repair or rehab, we're putting them in an updated unit. And again, some of the units, and we just approved that one resolution, have to go through testing, whether it's lead testing or abatement. So as Director Pettigrew said in his opening, we're going to be working very hard. Once that wait list opens, we know that we'll easily increase the occupancy in the 90s. It's just now waiting to ensure that it's approved through HUD, and we'll work as a team to start preparing to open the wait list. We've done a lot of work on it, but it kind of paused at the time of adding the preference and just getting through the approval of the admin plan. So we hope in 26, once the wait opens, we will see that increase.
So just one question, Nicole. So I guess I'm a little confused. How are we filling the units now? Who is on the list of units? Who are we trying to place in these units now if we're not going to the wait list?
We're actually going to the existing wait list. We were saying opening the new, so it's still.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay. So is part of the challenge, and I know you've talked about this before, where their turn comes up on the existing wait list, and they have a number of opportunities to sort of look at different units, and it takes time, and they have a number of days between units. And I think what you're saying is in a decent number of cases, we're going through that process. And at the end of it, people are saying, yeah, I'm good where I am. I don't want one of these units. And they've taken up a lot of time in not being able to fill that unit with someone else who might really want it.
That's correct. That's
okay.
correct.
And the new plan, you think will address that somewhat by reducing some of those timelines?
Yes, because we're now looking at property specific, so you will be signing up for the properties that you want. So right now it's centralized. Whatever comes up first, that's what we're offering, and it may be moving from southwest to northwest, and people don't want to do that, and understandable. So with the site base, that should definitely help.
Great, okay. I thank you. I feel like I have to ask everyone, so you have to remind me every once in a while. So I really appreciate it. And it's just good to remember that the team is doing everything it can to get these units filled. I know it kind of hurts all of our hearts a little bit to just have units that we have available that we can't match up with people. So appreciate all the work to get that wait list open. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, I had a couple things, I think, hopefully very quick. So in addition to Greenleaf, the other project that I was concerned about, because I know we've gone through a couple of issues there, is Kenilworth Phase 2. I thought we were going to move forward pretty quickly to procure a new developer to go into the next phase of Kenilworth, and I just haven't heard anything recently about that.
Largely been dismissed. It's large. We've been dismissed from the litigation. There's still litigation going, but we have been dismissed.
Don't talk about him.
No, sorry. There is still litigation on that site, but we have generally been dismissed from it.
That's been a hold up for a while.
It's been the hold up. I mean, that has been right. That has been the hold up.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry.
So is this now, is that now we get a priority?
Now we can get, yes.
So we'll do an RFP to procure a new developer. Is that what we're going to do? Okay. Okay, and then the second one is something, as I went through your report, I was really struck by the great work that we're doing in terms of sustainability. We have a whole sustainability team.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot in terms of energy savings, helping residents to save on their utility bills. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to take a few minutes at one of our board meetings, maybe next, maybe, I don't know if December is a good time, and then we don't meet in January, right? Maybe over the next couple of months, take maybe 5-10 minutes at the board meeting and have the sustainability team present. So we and the other board members and the public at large can see some of the great work they're doing. Okay, anything else?
Is Ms. Malloy still on?
Well, you have her number, right?
Yeah, but it's funny because she said I didn't respond to the email.
So you're about to correct me.
And Carl, I knew I responded. I didn't want to send that out loud till I got confirmation. I did respond to that email. October 31st at 11:37 a.m. For the record.
Okay, thank you, Director. Okay, so the next Board of Commissioners meeting will be held on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 1 p.m. It's going to be held via Zoom. Information regarding viewing or participating in the meeting live can be found at our website, www.dchousing.org. So with that, in closing, I would just like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and look forward to seeing you at our December meeting. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
With that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. The time is 2:47.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.